People of color, stop giving people bags of weed. An eighth is not a gift.
I don't know what our next topic is.
You don't know what our next topic is.
No.
Hey, subscribers. Welcome to Matter of Opinions. This is your boy Bamboo.
It's your girl Tess.
Today we got a topic, man, that I would like people to give their opinion on. The topic is, what was it again? A joke, may I tell you, no?
He get on my last nerve, I swear.
Today we talking about Christmas. Merry Christmas, subscribers. So what we're going to be talking about is, what's an acceptable gift from whoever? I mean, there's an acceptable gift from a spouse. There's an acceptable gift from a fiance. And there's an acceptable gift from a girlfriend or a boyfriend. So we like to get your opinion on it. But that's first, I want to get your opinion on it. What's an acceptable gift? And when I say acceptable, like, do you put a monetary value on it?
For me, I don't think that it necessarily has to have a monetary value. I think that as long as the thought and effort actually was put into it and thinking of me and how I would feel when receiving that gift. For me, like, I'm simple. So my husband can do something as simple as like putting up this extravagant picnic at the park, right? And it ain't gonna cost him a lot of money. He get picnic blanket, nice basket with all of the things that I like to eat and set it up, maybe get a little tent or something at the park, whatever. We feed in ducks. We live where it's cold, so that ain't gonna be happening in the winter. But let's just say, as an example, we live somewhere where it's nice, and we can do this. Something like that, for me, that's thoughtful. Those are things that I like, and I would find that as an acceptable gift. Now, I know that that's not the standard for a lot of people.
Definitely not the standard for me.
And you know what? I will say this. Don't buy me no $10,000 bag. I will be upset. I don't want that gift. That's not what I want.
It don't make sense to get a $10,000 bag, and not you per se. It don't make sense to get a $10,000 bag and you ain't got $100 to put in it. That's just stupid. But this is my personal opinion, and I'm real. Listen, I'm blunt about my shit, and I done threw shit away that my autistic son gave me because I didn't think it was good enough for me. They gave me one year a plaque that said, "You are officially," with a box of Swedish fish, "you are officially the greatest dad." I didn't find that shit funny. I literally threw that shit away. I did not want that. It's not ungrateful. I'm a better dad than that. So what I would like to say is, like, on some real shit, like, pay attention to your spouse. Pay attention to your wife, your fiance, your boyfriend, or your boyfriend, your fiance, whoever the hell he is. Pay attention to the nigga that you're stroking. Like, on some real shit. Follow them around all year round and see what they like. See what they use, what they can use, what they need. That's an acceptable gift. Don't listen. Don't ever give me a gift card. It's unacceptable. I will give that shit back to you. I promise. No thought goes behind a gift card. That's some shit you get to somebody at a Christmas grab bag. You know what I'm saying? And people of color, stop giving people bags of weed. An eighth is not a gift.
I mean, for some people, it might be though.
Nah. Listen, be respectful and don't be handing somebody a bag talking about openness in private. No. That's not an acceptable gift. It's not an acceptable gift. You know what I'm saying? And men, let me go on a rant about this. Getting your wife, fiance, girlfriend, and I can only speak for men. Don't get them no goddamn draws from Victoria's Secrets. That is not a gift for her. That is a gift for you. So don't do that. That shit is retarded. Get her something that she can use for herself that's not entertaining to you. Same thing with women. Don't get men a pack of damn drawers or a pack of socks. Talk about, oh yeah, Merry Christmas. Nah, bitch, this ain't Christmas. This ain't a gift for Christmas. That ain't even a Father's Day gift. Pay attention to your spouse. Pay attention to the people that's stroking you, riding your chest, and you'll know exactly what to give them.
You are insane. You are insane. Well, okay, so being that that's your standard for that, now the next question is it Christmas or Christmas? Where you must participate, you must go into this whole rabbit hole of buying gifts and spending and shopping for everybody.
Nah, if you can't afford it, you know what I mean, get each other the little things, you know what I'm saying, if you can't afford it. You know what I mean? Like this year, 2023, you know, we're doing Christmas so small, we're downsizing Christmas. And that's a downside because my family and I don't celebrate Christmas outside the house anyway. So we don't like anybody outside of our house, we don't get gifts. We celebrate Christmas inside our house. So we're downsizing because and we're not trying to brag, but it's kind of hard to get somebody something that has almost everything. Like it's only but so much you could clutter your house up with. Get your wife an air fryer, not acceptable gift, but you get her an air fryer. It's only but so much clothes, so much sneakers. You know, After a while, you run out of ideas. Jewelry, you run out of ideas. I mean, so make sure that you got a what they call it, a feasible list. Make sure your list is reasonable. And I mean, but to me, it's just Chris Must, MAS. I mean, it's just, it's Chris Must. It's not a must. I think next year we're gonna sit it out.
Well, for me, what we like to do is we do destination Christmases where we travel to different places. It doesn't have to be anywhere exotic or out the country. It could literally just be going one state over, whether it be, you're staying with the family or you get a cheap Airbnb or, just doing something different and experiencing that area. Because the thing is, you spend all this money on gifts and they don't remember. Like if I say, oh, well, 5 years ago, Christmas, what exactly did you get? You may not be able to tell me unless it was one extravagant thing that you really wanted this entire time. But if it was just, okay, these are nice gifts, you may not be able to tell me, oh, you lay out the Christmases, what you got. And especially for children, they remember even less. But when you have these experiences, they remember, oh, remember that time when we were here and we did this, or we played this game, or we were on this beach, or we were here and this, whatever. People remember experiences and also how it made them feel. So we don't go crazy spending money on Christmas. It's this 4 gift rule. So we do something they want, something they need, something to wear, and something to read. And so it's exactly what it says. Something they want, which is one item that they really want, something that they need, like, whatever. It could be whatever. It could be from electronics. Maybe they needed a upgrade on their tablet because it's really old and is moving slow. Or maybe, our kids now have to do homework online. Maybe they needed a computer to support whatever it is. It could be they need new shoes or whatever. So something they need, something to wear. So a nice outfit, one outfit, or maybe two, depending on whatever, and then something to read. So a book. We are heavy readers in this house. Well, not my husband, but the rest of us. So I love to read, and my love of reading has trickled down into my children, and they love to be read to. And now that my daughter's learning to read, it's just books are a big thing. So that's all fine and well. Say for certain grandparents or aunts or whatever, they want to buy the kids gifts. We ask all the time, please, no toys. They have enough toys. They're going to break. They're, again, not going to remember it. But something that will go far and last a long time is putting money into their retirement account. We have retirement accounts for them, custodial retirement accounts for them. So whatever amount that you were going to spend on a toy, it could be $1, it could be $5, it could be $20, it could be $100, whatever that amount was that you were thinking of buying a toy with, put it in the account. Why? Because that $100 or that $5 or that $1 is going to grow and it's going to be impactful later. That toy that you spent is not going to make it for next Christmas. What purpose did it really serve for them? And I know that they won't understand it now, but later they'll be more grateful than even what they are now. So that's just something that we do in our household.
What I'm gonna need you to do is I'm gonna need you to text me that, because that shit is fire. Something they want, something they need, something they can wear, something they can read. That shit is that is. I'm going into 2024 with that.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
That makes so much sense, because you get toys and they play with them for a little while. Thank God. I'm gonna be honest with you. I do have this. This gonna sound a little more fucked up than what it is, but I do have an autistic son that he don't give a fuck about Christmas. So he could be the last on the list because he don't give a But then, I have raised my other son to where he's not materialistic at all. Like you could literally, get his motherfucker a bag of Funyuns and he's okay with it. He's like, he's grateful with the shit. You know what I mean? Not to say that I ever got a Funyuns, but at the end of the day, I personally think that you got to put some thought behind your gifts. You know what I mean? And I think that if you get to a point where it's just you just got a lot of shit in your house and your house ain't doing nothing but storing a lot of shit, then it's okay to just like get little knickknacks and be fine with it. And because my wife and I this year, we're gonna just really do a nice Christmas dinner, and we don't we can't really say destinations because my wife and I always go out. We every summer we pick like 6 places we want to go to, and we go. We pack up the car and we go. So I don't think my family will appreciate a destination because we always destinating somewhere. But that's something they want, something they need, something they could wear, something they could read. That shit is ideal. You know what I mean? And I gotta commend you for that because not too many people, will come up with some shit like that. You know what I mean? But
Well, I'm not gonna take credit for it. It's something that I saw online years ago, and it's something that I knew that I wanted to take on one day when I did have kids because I didn't want them to become materialistic. I didn't want Christmas to become about spending all this money and take the meaning away because really Christmas should be about spending time and giving to those that you love, right? So that they feel appreciated. Not about going broke behind it. Not about not paying your rent so that you could get this gift of a new PS5 when they got a PS4 that still functions just fine. You don't need to be going like people literally will sacrifice groceries to buy these unnecessary things that these kids and people don't need. It's not that deep. You got a functioning device already. You continue with that device. You don't need the latest and greatest because guess what? Our
what
pockets can't afford the latest and
I
greatest.
disagree on the PS4 and the PS5 because I still got a functioning PS3, but I can't play PS4 games on it. I
Well,
still
but
got
the
a
thing
functioning
is,
PS4. I can't play that on my PS5.
the
So
key word is can you afford to do it? Are you buying a PS5 and trading off a mortgage payment or a partial of your mortgage payment or your car note or a car? But this is what I'm saying. There are people out here that are sacrificing their everyday bills in order to be able to afford these unnecessary gifts. I get that we all technology every year something new comes out, and so therefore it's always you're always going to have something older just by going out through the year. It doesn't mean that you have to buy the latest and greatest thing to keep up with it if your pockets cannot afford it. If you're living in the hood or you live in, whatever, check to check, and you already have something, well, guess what? You're going to have to get games that support whatever level, the PS4, maybe you got a PS3. Shoot, maybe you got the original classic PS1
so
and whatever it is, but you can't go above what you can afford to do.
if you ever
Save
if you ever mention the PS1 again in your life, we are going to have problems. But
PS1. Listen,
that
I
that
still play the Nintendo 64 from time to time. I get it popping, okay?
good luck with that. But
And it's fun.
that's
It's
gonna lead
fun.
into our next episode of how we're gonna be financially fasting. And we want
Yeah.
people to join in and give us ideas of how we can do that. So make sure you watch and subscribe and share to this, but also be sure to go to the next episode, which I promise you're gonna find it to be very exciting, very educational, and probably could tweak a little some things in your life. But for me, to answer your question, it's a Christmas for me. MAS, not an MUST. It's a
Okay.
Christmas. And I think that like you said, you know, I promise you I am going to adapt that situation into my life. That something you want, something you need, something you could wear, something you could read. I don't think I'm
Right.
gonna do the read thing because I ain't really that good at reading.
Well, maybe that's why you need it. But you know what?
Absolutely not.
Take it out, and maybe instead of reading, maybe because what you want to do is have it something that's still going to stimulate the brain, right? So like it could be a puzzle, word search. It doesn't. You don't have to do a book. You could trade that out, swap it for something that you enjoy. Like maybe like maybe it could be book an escape room, and you go and you figure out how to do that. Maybe it could be, like I said, crossword or word search or whatever it is. The matching game. Play a family matching game or whatever. Something that's gonna make them use their brain, cognitive skills, like to keep to exercise the brain muscles.
Okay, so I personally think, like I said, I'm gonna go with a Chris Must and not a Chris Must. So with that being said, I want to take my time to talk to my subscribers and my followers and people that like and share, and just people that's watching the video, and understand that these are just opinions that we have, and not everybody can afford a Christmas. Not everybody can afford a Kwanzaa. Not everybody can afford, you know, Hanukkah. A lot of people can't afford, a holiday. So I think what I'm gonna do with Destiny's little something something you want, something you need, something you could wear, something you could read. I think what I'm gonna do is, instead of something you could read, I think I'm just gonna donate something to somebody, a gift to somebody, and that's gonna be, you know, my fourth thing. So I will be adapting that in the 2024. But also understand that everybody can't afford Christmas.
Right.
And in all these luxurious holidays, that we take for granted. And we
Mm-hmm.
also take for granted that people sit in front of these cameras and you don't know what's really going on behind their lives, what's going on in their lives. And we entertain you guys. We come on here on every week, but we real life people going through real life shit. You know what I mean? So when you see us out in the street, you're right. We are Des and Bamboo, but we have lives also that we got shit going on in. You know what I mean? And just remember, you never know what somebody is going through. People look in the cameras, people look in your face, they smile, they happy, whatever, and they're going through real life shit. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I would like to move on to our next topic, which I'll have Destiny introduce. But just remember, people go through real life shit behind after these cameras cut off. We go back to regular life. And just remember that. And just remember that people you see on the street, stop fucking with these people, because you don't know what they're going through at home. You don't know what a man's wife said to him at home. You don't know what a woman's husband said to her at home. You don't know what these kids' parents are saying and doing to them at home. So, people go through real life shit. So when you see people on the street, stop fucking with people, because you really don't know what they're going through, and you don't want to be the product of them taking their frustration out on you. Go ahead.
One thing before we do switch gears that I wanted to say, so that popped in my head when you were saying as far as donating that fourth gift to someone in need. So that's something that like my family is really big on, is giving back to the community. And I really like to get my kids hands on and involved so that they can be appreciative and know, like, that they are fortunate to be receiving the things that they do, and that there are people less fortunate, and whatever, so that they start learning about charitable giving. Maybe they know of a classmate who is maybe walking around with old sneakers, the same sneakers all school year, and they messed up now that can use new shoes. Or maybe they seen somebody outside, or sometimes getting them involved, it makes them feel a sense of pride knowing that they gave and helped a person specifically. And I do feel like it builds character. So having them like, hey, do you have anybody in mind, whether it be a child or an adult, that you saw or you noticed can benefit or can use a gift? And do you have an idea of what you'd like that gift to be? And then have them involved in the process of picking it out and wrapping it up and giving, like, have them hand in hand from start to finish throughout that process. And that way, like, Christmas becomes a time of giving for them as well.
All right. So with that being said, maybe our next topic should be a New Year's. I think we're gonna put out a different type of show. So we're gonna mix New Year's in with our Christmas episode, because they are, back to back. But we have not a more important episode, but an episode that we'd rather hear you hear during, the New Year's. So with that being said, let me wish you a happy New Year. That's
Happy New Year.
we're
Happy
gonna
New
wish you a
Year.
happy new year from Matter of Opinion. And I would like to talk about, let's see if your New Year resolutions are are they feasible? Are you going to be able to keep up with your resolutions? Are you going to sit and say, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna lose 100 pounds," and it only lasts for a week? Like, make real life resolutions. You know what I mean? Like, make things that you can do so that this way, you feel good about your accomplishments and not saying, "Well, I wanted to lose weight, but eh, maybe next year." So let's talk about New Year resolutions. What's yours, Des?
Well, for me, I'm not really big on New Year's resolutions. I am a believer on constantly reviewing and making plans and goals and life changes, but I don't think that you should have to wait until New Year's to start. So, for example, if I'm like, all right, if it would be to lose weight as a New Year's resolution, why do I need to wait until January 1st? If I'm going to do it and be dedicated to it, I can be dedicated right now, whenever that time was
Gives
that
you a
it
fresh
came to
start.
me.
Gives you a fresh start.
Yeah,
Day
I
one.
just feel like what it is that maybe like I am a natural procrastinator. Like I wait until the last minute to I'll get it done on time, but I will wait, right? And I know that there are a lot of people that are procrastinators and they wait. I don't know if they're gonna. Well, from what we see, a lot of them don't get things done, and then years come because they've already put it in their brain that cycle to put it off, put it off, put it off, and then they never get to it, or they're maybe not as successful in the long term because you're waiting for this deadline. If you want to lose weight, start now. Like do it now. Why wait? Just go now. And then if you want to revamp, refresh for as a New Year's resolution is okay. Am I on target? Could I be doing better? What changes could I make? Should I be meal planning? Should I be cutting carbs? What is it that I can improve? But you don't have to wait to get started. Like, oh, I'm gonna save for a house. You don't have to wait to the New Year. Start saving with this next paycheck you get in before the New Year's. Get
I
started. Start now. Like get started
disagree.
now.
I disagree.
Okay.
So heartily disagree. Like,
Okay.
you know, man, if you gonna fuck your life up all year long, fuck it up all year long. Let the new year bring in something new. You know
And
what I
you
mean?
just
Like,
want to do the same thing the following
nah,
year.
nah, nah. What you gotta do is around December 15th, December 20th, you gotta sit and say to yourself, I'm really about to make some life changes. You know? Like, really about to make some life changes, and I'm gonna give myself 10 more days to fuck up. But then, I'm gonna get on the ball. I'm that type of dude. Like,
But the thing is this, every year these people have the same resolutions, or maybe it's slightly different. Or maybe they decided, you know what, I'm not going to talk about weight loss. I haven't been successful in the last 10 years. Let me just focus on something else. They haven't been good on the ones that they previously set. Those goals have not been met. And I'm not being pessimistic. I'm a pretty optimistic person, but I'm also a realist. If you haven't been doing what you needed to do all year and reaching those goals before, you're probably not going to do it now, especially if you're telling yourself, oh, well, let me just get crazy and then I'm going to get right in 10
that's
days. That
that's
makes no sense.
that's because they're not realistic goals. They're not realistic goals. That's why I'm
Losing
telling.
weight is a realistic goal. It's
Not
of the
really.
action. The
Not really.
action.
People 9 times out of 10, people don't realize that they need to lose weight until a doctor tell them something about to really fuck up in their life,
I'm sure
or
the people
somebody in
that's
their life fuck up, and something happened to somebody in their life, and then all of a sudden, reality hits home. Like, most of the shit that happens in our lives don't hit home until it hit home.
it's like this. The people that ended up on my 600-pound life, you think that they just for the first time heard that they needed to lose weight when Dr. Now told them they needed to cut calories? No, they done been told, and I'm sure most of them probably every year done had lose weight as a New Year's resolution. And it's
But
about the effort that you put into it. It's literally the action. It's the
they
action.
they
You could talk
chose.
the talk all day. You could set a whole list all day. If you don't make moves on it, it ain't gonna move. That
I
list is
dis
just gonna be a sitting
disagree.
list.
I
It's gonna
disagree.
be a sitting list.
I
A list
disagree.
is just a list. Without
When
action,
you
it's nothing.
when somebody tell you about to die over some goofy shit you doing, that there's a potential chance that you can die over this shit.
It's a
And
potential chance you could have a heart attack at 200 pounds, depending on you, whatever.
I get
How
that.
high BMI? a high BMI way before they got to 600 pounds.
I get that.
Way before.
But those are niggas that need to die. Let's just make that clear. Them the niggas that need to die.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna disagree.
I
No,
don't care
I
what
would
you
never.
do.
Nobody
Listen.
but pedophiles need to die.
No, listen. What?
Nobody but the pedophiles. They could go.
Them
They
people
could go.
gotta
They
fix
could all
it.
go.
Listen what I'm telling you, Des, on some real shit. If a doctor telling me, Bamboo, you gotta cut this shit out or you're gonna die, right? I'm cutting the shit out immediately. Fucking immediately.
That's you.
I promise you. Listen.
How many people that you know smoke cigarettes and they say, hey, if you keep smoking, you're going to be like Mary with the stone in your neck. You can get lung cancer and they still smoking. How many people you know? Wait, I know plenty of people that actually have been diagnosed with cancer, that have had cancer, that have had traumatic surgery, are now deformed or now changed in some kind of way.
If they
and
still
smoking cigarettes.
They need to die.
Or smoking hookah. Because people seem to think hookah is better than cigarettes and it's actually worse. But same thing. Vaping. All of that. Vaping.
If your doctor tell you that you got to stop smoking, and I know a lot of people, I promise you, I know a lot of people, I was told not to name drop, but I know a lot of people that their doctor told them, hey, if you don't stop smoking, you're gonna die. Right? And if you keep on smoking, you deserve to die. If the doctors save your life, and I mean this shit. Now I want you to understand, I lost a brother to cancer, 2 brothers to cancer, right? And I want you to understand, if you catch cancer and the doctor is able to bring it into remission, and then after your shit go in remission, you go back to damn smoking, you need to die. That's it. Stop wasting these people time. This is what you want to do. And I don't think you should keep going to these people, oh, I got cancer, da-da-da-da, and people, oh, well, feeling sorry for you. Bullshit. If you got cancer and it was in remission and you go back to smoking, you get no pity nor sympathy from me. If your doctor tells you to stop smoking or you're going to die, and you got to go on one of them machines, you get no sympathy from me. I promise you, some of this shit can be avoided. If you don't avoid it, if you don't care enough about your fucking life, why the fuck should I? And trust me, I know people, and I would give a shout out to somebody, but I ain't gonna say her name. But man, this doctor told this chick, man, that if she don't stop smoking, she gonna die. And this bitch stopped smoking because she found it to be more important to live than to die. She found something to live for. So I commend you for that. You know exactly who the fuck I'm talking about. But for those that don't listen, man, listen. That's on you, bro. That's on you. You get no sympathy or empathy for me. If I tell you, don't put your hand next to that goddamn fire, because you're going to get burnt. Then you put your hand next to that fire and you get burnt, I'm not taking you to the ER. I promise you. And I damn sure ain't sitting there with you.
You said the bus is a safe place.
What you mean?
You said the bus is a safe place. If I'm on that bus, you're taking me to the ER.
I am not.
So the bus is a safe place for certain people.
The bus is a safe place for people getting their ass whooped. That's a safe place. You getting your ass whooped, I promise you, if you run on a bus, the man or the woman, the driver, is going to shut the door and you're going to be safe. Your attackers will not be able to get on that bus. But I don't know what you're talking about. If you put your hand next to a fire after I told you not to do it, I'm not sitting in the ER with you. I promise you. I promise you that. I'm not even going to the ER with you. I am not. I'm not sitting in. Oh, shit.
Always name dropping.
I'm not sitting in Killer County with you, wasting my goddamn time. I will not. Listen, I had a grandmother, and I promise you, again, I can't name drop, but she dead. But, my grandmother went to the hospital and had surgery because she had cancer in her mouth, right? and her mouth, after they came out the hospital, she was in there for like 6 months. And when she came out, her mouth looked just like this. Right? They done took half her damn jaw. So she had stopped smoking for at least 2 weeks after she got out the hospital.
2 weeks?
2 weeks. The next time I seen my grandmother, and at this time I used to smoke Newport Lightbox. Next time I seen my grandmother, I was smoking me a cigarette. And my grandmother was smoking her cigarette, walking up to me. And I looked and I noticed that she was smoking. And when I tell you that was my last day smoking, my very last day, because I don't want nothing to control me like that. Nothing. So, I loved my grandmother, but she got no empathy for me. None.
Not even Granny?
Nah, these people saved your life. These people saved your life, and you didn't care enough about your own life. No.
Yeah, I can't love you more than
I can't.
more than you love you.
Exactly. I cannot.
Except for my children. I love my children beyond anything.
I love my children. I just don't love nobody, including my children. I don't love nobody to death. I
love my kids to death. I will die for my kids any day.
Not me. I ain't dying for. I'm not dying for nobody. Not a soul. Not one. Nobody. I've had brothers that died from colon cancer, and I never once told either one of them that I wish it was me instead of them. Never, not one.
So now bringing it back to the topic of the New Year's resolution, do you think that there's a certain time after, is it 3 months into the year, 6 months into the year, what length of time into the year and you haven't hit not a goal, do you feel like, all right, just give it up? Give it up. At what point though? How many months in?
Man, listen, after you got to live life quarterly. It's quarterly.
So the first quarter, let me get this straight.
That's 3 months.
If you right. If the first quarter of the year, so by the end of March, right? So by April 1st, if you have not completed at least one thing on your resolution, give up until next New Year's?
Reevaluate. And don't be so hard on yourself. You ain't the only one failed your New Year's resolution. Reevaluate. Go to
most of the world.
Hey,
this is what I'm saying. Stop waiting until the New Year's. Do it when you feel compelled to do so. Be about that action.
New year, new start. I live life quarterly, and I've said that before. Every 3 months, I have a conversation with my wife, and what do you think? You think we should continue on with this marriage, or you think we should give up on it, or you think we should,
You better not come asking me no nonsense like that every quarter. Man, should we stay married?
This is the question.
You better ask one last time since you're so desperate to know. No, we shouldn't. How about that?
Listen, what I'm telling you, Des. How many marriages you think would fail if you had to renew your marriage license? Think about it.
Listen, if I'm being real, over the hurdle now, are we good? But that first 5 years in of marriage, that first year, matter of fact, 30 days after getting married, I was like, yo, what? But I was young. We were young. But I was like, what did I do? What did I do? I'm happy to be here now, but I question a lot. In the beginning,
if you had to renew your marriage license,
I wouldn't be married today.
The fuck?
I would be for the streets.
that's my, I ain't calling you a hoe, but that's my whole shit. Listen,
for the streets.
That's what I'm telling you. Just think about how many divorces we'd have in the United States alone if you had to renew your marriage license.
Them things would have been expired.
Man, I tell you one thing, I bet you these bitches be acting better coming toward that 4th year, knowing that in that 5th year, that nigga could just walk the fuck away. Yeah.
So you're saying it expire every 5 years?
Every 5 years. Do you want to renew this shit? That's what I'm telling you. You got to live life quarterly. Every 3 months, I ask my wife the same question. What are we doing? You still want to be in this? What you want to do? What can I do better? What can I do different? Because I got a whole list of shit that you could do better. I promise you that. And don't make up no list because you know I got a list. Because I keep telling y'all don't believe me, man, but I'm him. I know we going way off topic, but I don't give a fuck. I'm him. You know what I'm saying? There's some chick out there. There's a chick out there that would love to be with me.
She must be autistic too.
But,
you know, I ain't gonna say that. I don't even know if they will deal with you.
Man, listen, I seen this chick. I'm going off topic too. I seen this Down syndrome chick on TikTok. Oh my God, that chick was thicker than Snickers.
Shaking it.
Oh, she could have got it. She could have got it.
She would have said, "You ain't him." She don't want you either.
Oh, I wouldn't. I would have smashed. I would have smashed. She definitely had your boy attention. Definitely had your boy attention. But listen, like I told you, if 3 months down, your New Year's resolution ain't working for you, and you want to quit, then fucking quit. Don't hold yourself hostage to something that you don't want to fucking do.
But this is the thing. So then that means stop setting stuff for the sake of saying that it's a New Year's resolution. Just do what you feel like you need to do at the time that you need to do it. Stop waiting for New Year's to come up with a list.
That's what I felt like I needed to do at that point in that time. Now we're 3 months in, and I don't feel
a week before. The thing is, you felt like you needed to do that a week before you created the list. 2 weeks. Nah. You say 10 days, 14 days before you created the list.
Nah,
you said like 15 days. Something you said in December, mid-December. You think about that list and
come
you
up
put
with
it
a
down.
list. You come up with a realistic list.
If in the first quarter you have not been successful off of that list, that means you just was pulling stuff out of a hat just to have a list.
No, Destiny, you don't understand this shit because you're not a fat fuck. I've been a fat fuck for a long time.
I'm overweight. I am.
Des, stop. The people can see your cleavage. Stop. They know you're not overweight.
Overweight.
Sean, I mean this in the most respectfulest way possible, but disrespectful as it could be. There's niggas out there that'll smash you. I promise you. You think you overweight.
And guess what?
No.
They
You're not. I've been a fat fuck for a long time. And I'm telling you, there's times where I'll be like, man, I need to lose some weight. Then there's times where I go down to Garden Catering and I'll be like, fuck losing weight. Let me get a hot seat with cones. Point blank, period. And if anybody that don't know Garden Catering, they known for their nuggets and they hot seat. That shit fire. And I'm telling you, I've been a fat fuck a long time. And I ain't ashamed of my shit.
And the way that you and everybody else going with these resolutions, you're gonna stay one and probably die one. But
man,
I don't want to be negative on it.
If your resolution ain't working for you in 3 months, don't be afraid or ashamed to fucking dump it. Dump the shit. You ain't the only one who fucked their resolution up. Dump the shit. And if you gotta wait another year, wait another fucking year. Be a fat fuck for another year. The rest of the 9.
You're gonna make it harder for yourself by gaining more weight. Okay.
The rest of the 9. The rest of the 9 months.
We're gonna agree to disagree on this because it's getting nowhere. I think that wraps up this episode for us here on Matter of Opinions. Do you have any final?
Yeah, I got something final to say. I got something final to say. Shit.
What?
Listen, if you a fat fuck like myself, don't let nobody fat shame you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's your shit.
Right.
You earned it. You ate all the shit you ate. Love yourself and don't let nobody fat shame you. If your shit ain't working in 3 months, fuck it. Dump it.
All right, guys. Make sure you please subscribe, comment, and share. If there's any resolutions that you've previously failed on, drop it in the comment. What has been something that you've been successful with? Drop all of your feedback in the comments. And of course, we will see you in our next episode. Subscribe.
It's your boy Bamboo. I'm out.